Hey everybody, Tim again. And I am here to today talk about wokeness in gaming. This is going to be a little bit of a tricky topic, and it might piss some people off, but it is not in and of itself the problem, and people need to understand that. I don't even like the term. I prefer diversity and or inclusion. I know, that's going to trigger the hell out of some of you. But wokeness used to mean, when lefties started using it a decade plus ago, just being aware of and acknowledging struggles that groups different from you faced. And it has been bastardized into the boogeyman of today's age. The problem with modern games, modern media, is not diversity and or inclusion. It is poor storytelling. For every bad, woke piece of media, there is a diamond in the rough. And I want to talk about them today and give some examples. Let's start with the big boogeyman, Amazon. For every rings of power, there is a fallout. Rings of power, depending on how you want to look at the world, could be considered woke AF. Galadriel, little tiny white lady, being all badass. It wasn't bad because she was a little white lady being badass. It was bad because she was a little white lady being badass that was told poorly. It's that simple. That simple. Lucy in Fallout is just as little, just as white, and just as female. She turns into a little badass. Organically. She has an arc that makes sense. Her line at the end of episode 4, Golden Rule, motherfucker, could not possibly sum up her arc better. She stayed true to her core values, but she adapted to the wasteland. Storytelling. The diversity and the inclusion didn't matter at all. You can gripe about it all you want. It didn't matter. Let's try something a little different. HBO Max had an extremely woke show a year or so ago called The Last of Us. Some of you might have heard about it. There was a particular episode that really got under the skin of some folks. It was really well done. Storytelling matters. It doesn't matter that Riley was a black gal. It doesn't matter. None of it matters because the story was told well. That's what matters. Velma, woke AF, and arguably one of the worst shows made because it was told poorly. Not because Velma was Velma, because it was told poorly. People don't care about diversity or inclusion when it's organic. All of us, well, a vast majority of us, have a diverse social circle anymore. It is normal. We are used to it. It's when in media it's told poorly. Or it's so in your face. Most of us don't talk about our sexuality at all. No matter how we feel about it. It's just not something we're real public about. Doesn't have to be public about it. Look at the Dane character in Fallout. Referred to as they. Once, maybe twice. That's it. Completely inoffensive character. Enraged quite a few people. Completely inoffensive character. Written into the story organically. Just a normal person living their life, doing their thing. That's good storytelling. That's inclusion at its best. Let's see, another example. Let's go to the movies. And this one will be a little controversial too. The Marvels. Awful flick. I saw it. Ugh. And I'm a Marvel fan. Like, I collected these comics back in the 80s and the 90s when these stories were originally being told. In fact, in many ways, I'm an MCU simp. But that movie was terrible. Kamala Khan, the Ms. Marvel, was the one shining star in that movie. And she's a gem because she loves the source material. She's into it. The Marvels was woke AF and garbage because it was told poorly. Storytelling matters. Actors caring matter. Brie Larson didn't care. She phoned it in. Ella Purnell cared. She showed up on point for Lucy. She gave a shit. And it showed. It's not about diversity or inclusion. It's about passion, storytelling, giving a shit. Here's the opposite side of that coin. Barbie. And I know that's going to trigger a lot of folks. That was a good flick. That was funny. It had a message that was amusing. I know. You can take it the wrong way all you want. It was funny. It was well told. Yes, the diversity and the wokeness was forced, but it was supposed to be forced. It was a parody of life. It was a parody of a toy line that is a parody of life. It was good. The diversity isn't what made it good. The storytelling is what made it good. It was organic. And that's what I think a lot of studios are missing in media these days, is when the diversity and the inclusion is forced and poorly told, like any storyline that is forced or poorly told, it is going to flop. And when the extraordinarily loud minority latch onto something, they stay latched on and they growl and growl and growl. So anyway, that's what I wanted to stop in for today. I've had several comments on my past couple of videos about wokeness, and to be frank, it in and of itself is not the problem. Storytelling is the problem. Bad storytelling is the problem. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate your time. If you want to start a shitstorm in the comments, go for it. I appreciate the engagement. Hit those buttons. I've been Tim. Take care.